check out this new reasoning model that got released just 2 days ago. It's called Deepseek R1, and apparently it's already better than OpenAI O1 on some benchmarks.
Yeah, and so much cheaper as well.
It's so much cheaper to run. Even the API, it's a lot more affordable to people, and which is why it got so popular. And I just can't wait to show you the stats and how it works. Basically, if you haven't used OpenAI O1 previously, it's the way it works is it thinks before it responds, and you can actually see the whole thought process it goes through. And DeepSeek works in exactly the same way, except it was trained to think in a slightly different way, which is what puts this model ahead in some benchmarks, as I said. And why don't I just show you the article to start with? So yeah, new era of AI, new era in AI models, and actually feels like it, because before O1 we didn't really have anything like this, and DeepSeek R1 is the kind of second big one that introduced this approach. So as we know, it will obviously excel at tasks that are more logical, like maths, coding, reasoning, and anything to do with those fields. And as you might have seen, it's open source as well. It's available on GitHub for us to download. And there are two kind of main models. We've got DeepSeek R10 and R1 that we can, download and feed our own data with, which is pretty cool. And obviously not something that OpenAI does, which is again the argument against OpenAI, I guess.
Yeah, and everybody loves this because it's all open, free, open weights, open models, which even previous LLMs like Mixtral, they would hide the weights, or it's open weights only. So now we actually have a full model, completely open source, free to use for anyone, and it's cheap, and it's also great.
And it's also great. Like, we're gonna test it in a moment and see how great it is. Now, before that, this graph that I found on GitHub actually, it shows the comparison between different models. So we've got DeepSeek R1, OpenAI O1, and some other O1 and R1 models. This one is smaller. And then we've also got DeepSeek V3 that was released just 2 months ago, I think. V3. And as you can see, the R1 does better job at almost all of those benchmarks.
So R1 is the blue one to the left of all the graphs, right? And which one is, and then the one to the right of that is OpenAI O1.
Yes.
So they're all like neck to neck, really.
Almost neck to neck, right? Differences are marginal, 97.396. But still, it shows like the open source, the power of open source, right? Open source models.
Yeah. And especially since we did DeepSeek V3 before, that was like a model that was based around ChatGPT 4.0 type of thinking. And this one being modeled after the O1, which is more of a reasoning model, to me at least, feels like something gets published publicly and then somebody can copy it within 2 months. It's just so beautiful to see.
Yeah, exactly. And for all of those of you that are slightly more technical, this is all due to the unique approach to post-training. Basically, DeepSeek employed something called reinforced learning techniques, without any kind of supervised fine-tuning. So for all those technical guys out there, this is the kind of reason behind like what makes this unique and what makes like DeepSeek being able to compete with OpenAI O1. And in terms of how it works and the whole thought process, this is I'm now inside the chat.deepseek. This is where you can talk to the model. And I asked it a logical question. What 3 numbers, none of which is 0, give the same result whether they are added or multiplied. And yeah, it came out with the answer, and it's correct one, 1, 2, and 3. But as you can see, it actually first of all, thought, for 93 seconds. So if I open it, this is the whole thought process that the model went through. And it's so cool. It sounds almost like a human thought process, right? So it's like, all right, so I have this problem here. Find 3 numbers, and so on. None of ABC can be 0. Okay, so we need 3 non-zero numbers. And then, hey, that works. Wait, so 1, 2, 3. Let me check. Let me check again. Like, so it arrived at the answer like maybe like 20 seconds in, and then said, oh, actually, let me check. Let me go back and do all those calculations to see if I'm actually right. That's just my level of overthinking.
Yeah. Do I want to go to dinner with this guy or no? This is my thought process. 1 + 2 + 3. I don't know.
Or should I stay at home and do some work?
Yeah. What excuse should I pop up? I would love for it to do that.
I've got this automation to set up. I can't go.
The continual overthinker bot.
Yeah, and this is pretty much almost, as I said, almost like a human level of thinking. And then maybe if 2 negative are larger, let's try, and it like tries different examples as well. And eventually, after all of this, boom, we get the answer. And yeah, for those of you who tried OpenAI O1, this is pretty much exactly how ChatGPT works as well with this model. And I actually want to try this same exact question. So it's going to be a live demo. I'm going to try, see how long OpenAI O1 is going to think for and what it's going to say, because I'm really interested to see. So we're now inside ChatGPT. So I'm just going to paste the same exact question, and I'm on O1. So yeah, let's see how it does.
And again, for people used it before, it's going to do some thinking, and then it's going to do some more thinking. And then we got a really short answer.
Short answer, which is correct again. 1, 2, and 3. And if I actually, close that. If I click on this here, it now shows on the side, because previously you will be able to see this here, but now it shows on the side. So yeah, it's like identifying the solution. I'm piecing together like, okay, almost like a human again, but it's so much more like an LLM, more than a human, in my opinion. Like it's all structured and charting numbers. Now I'm thinking 1, 2, 3. Again, it like checks itself. And the craft precise communication. Now it's a lot. That to me seems a lot more like LLM think or approach a problem rather than a human. Whereas if you go back to Deepseek, like that is a lot of human-like thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely like that a lot better.
Yeah, and as we said before, it's just so much cheaper to run as well. This article, if I go back to it, there's a whole paragraph about it. So at the moment, OpenAI O1 charges $7.50 for input and $60 for output per million tokens, right? Whereas DeepSeek is set at 14 cents per million tokens, right, for the input, and $2.19 for the output. Can't even compare those two.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like the graph. If you would visualize it, it literally is like a 10-1 difference, or maybe even more. I think it was like a 60-1 difference of running the O1. I'm not sure if it was the O1 or the O1 Mini, but it might even be the O1 Mini which is supposed to be the cheaper one that it's beating. Trying to find the graph now, but I'll check it in the background.
Yeah, sure. If you find it, let me know. But this one is comparing to OpenAI O1, so the full O1 version. Still a lot cheaper. And yeah, we talk about the unique approach to post-training. And unless you can think of any other examples that we can test it on, I can just go ahead and show the examples I found on Twitter, which are pretty mind-blowing, to be fair. Like this one, for example, it shows just one more example of how it approaches the thought process. So do something to delight me in exactly 7 words. Make it not cheesy. This is important. Should avoid overly sentimental. Yeah, love this.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that it's not only like, I was thinking that O1 was only mainly for math and basically physics and science and stuff.
Hmm.
But if you feed it with like criteria, like for example, yesterday I was doing O1 and I fed it like the book From Good to Great. And I was like, um, make all your decision based about around the principles found in Good to Great. And then I checked through the search and it's like it gave me an answer, and then it checked the Good to Great book, and then it was like, yeah, this doesn't really align with the Good to Great book, so let me try to rethink my answer. And I got a way better answer.
So yeah, so for things like that that require, I won't say fact checking, but being more like being able to understand the prompts, like for those kind of tasks, OpenAI O1 seems to be doing a lot better job. And yeah, this other example. So Riley Brown has actually built a Perplexity style app, but with Deepseek. And I just want to show you the video because it looks pretty amazing to me.
And this is something I really liked to see, that we can build these apps just straight out of ChatGPT or DeepSeek in this case.
Hmm.
And it goes into the vision of a no software future where we can kind of just make our own softwares based on the need that we have.
Zach is human bad boy. Love it. There you go. Get the thinking process as well, and then boom. And then the sources as well. There you go. That's the only thing I was missing, the sources.
And we can keep asking it questions as well.
Follow-up
What's the next
questions.
question to it?
Oh, sorry. The salute thing. Have you seen this? The Elon salute during his speech? No.
Which one?
What Elon did during I think it was during the first speech that Donald Trump gave when Elon was speaking. He did some gesture that you shouldn't that you don't. Ah. She did
What did he
she
do?
showed
The
that.
Nazi salute?
Yes, this one.
Really?
Yeah, or at least
Bro,
something that looks
chill.
like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is an Elon
Yeah,
heavy episode. He loves attention.
it does.
And yeah,
And then
so
yeah,
that
as you can see,
was the perplexity one.
yeah. So yeah, pretty cool alternative to use. A lot cheaper than OpenAI one.
Oh
And
yeah, I sent you a
marginally better.
Slack message as well with the
Mhm.
link to the image of the price, so you can see the big difference there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see
sorry.
the two massive graphs on the right. You can see
Yeah.
the output API price of the, yeah. So you see the mini is quite cheap at 12, while the
Mhm.
normal O1 preview is green there or blue there with 60,
Yeah.
and O1
Yeah.
also 60. And you see the tiny sliver of DeepSeek R1 down with a 2.19.
Yeah, that helps to visualize the actual price difference because when you read those numbers, it's like, yeah, okay, fine, cheaper, but now I can actually see like 219 and 60 is fraction of the cost. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we have it. DeepSeek
There we have it.
R1 is out and ready to use. What was the website?
You can chat to it at chat.deepseek.com. So you're gonna have to log in, create an account, and then yeah, you can chat with it. You got two options. You can select the deep think R1, and that will obviously trigger the thought process there. And you can also do search, and you can do both as well, which is quite nice.
Wow, they added this because that was not
Yeah,
possible before. It was either search or deep think, which is something that
yeah.
also ChatGPT can't do with the O1 model. So it just added. Can you actually try? Can you just say how big is an
Oh,
apple or something like that?
I can't do search on the
No,
one.
I mean in DeepSeek. Can you try to use it, or it's gonna give you an error?
Just should say, what's the population of New York? I was thinking about it and searching the web
Oh,
as well. There you go. Doing both.
Hey, this is big. This is huge. That's
This is.
awesome. I am dropping my ChatGPT subscription today.
Because there are loads of like tweets on X or posts on X, right? Like I'm about to cancel ChatGPT subscription because I found alternative that's better, right? And now we've actually found the alternative that's better.
Yeah, ChatGPT search as well is pretty bad. Every time I ask it to search, it literally don't do the search the way that I want it. And if I continue to ask it the same questions, it literally goes back into the search and searches for the same thing that I asked for.
Yeah,
Literally today, I asked it about AI news, and it told me the exact same article like 5 times.
yeah, and can't do follow-up questions as well on search. They don't work. Whereas, I'm gonna try and ask a follow-up question now. So I asked, what's the population of New York, right? So I can ask, what
It's
is
probably best to turn off search if you don't want to continue searching. But if you need
I
the
just
search.
wanted to I want to test if, because ChatGPT can't do follow-up questions when search is on. It just doesn't do it for me. I just want to see if Deepseek's going to do it. So, what's the population of New York going to be in 2030?
Hey, that's a great question too for the reasoning and math abilities.
Yeah. Actually, can I see the thought process there? Okay, so that's a question. Population New York. Not much thinking. Oh, there you go. It's accurate, right? 2025. So it's pulling out the actual data.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go. Follow up. He's asking about.
He's asking about this thing again. Oh my God, I don't want to do it.
Oh,
Okay, let's
no,
do it
no.
though. I'd love for that to be the thinking process. You're like, this guy doesn't get it.
I mean, maybe
He just asked me.
when you ask the same question for the 10th time, maybe it'll say, "Oh, piss off." Just understand
I
it.
am programmed to answer, but I really don't want to.
There you go.
All right, sweet. We did it.
Nice.
Deepseek V3, and a little surprise there at the end about search and threads together, which is really cool.